It's so funny because, you know, when we come out the matrix and we try to consciously deprogram ourselves, and we'll all have ways that we do that. For me, I'm consciously trying to reprogram my language and unlearn certain words and certain belief systems. I just thought, you know, one thing I haven't really confronted when I'm doing my poetry and talking about love and stuff is I kept saying that I fell in love at first sight. I fell in love, and when actually I've risen in love, because it is an elevation, it's an upliftment, it's a rising to our greatest potential. Because it's funny because it tripped me up, and made me feel things that I've never felt before. But it was an elevation, you know. Those kind of feelings, however overwhelming or overpowering, are higher frequency. And I think that is what the decompobulation is, or that is what the misunderstanding is sometimes, is we feel things that we've never felt because it is a recalibration of our heart. It's because our heart is being broken down. And like I did a tantra course, which is, tantra is very misunderstood as a practice. There's a lot of seedy shit that goes on in that scene, but I dipped out after a bit because it wasn't really my thing with that group of people. But I did 6 months of tantric practice, knowledge, learning, lots of reading and various things. And it is about just breaking down the barriers around our heart. You know, finding joy when you eat a delicious piece of dark chocolate, or when you self-massage. It's finding the love and finding the joy in the mundane, because everything's got so complicated in this weird world. Well, I keep saying weird when actually I think it's a brilliant word. In this funny old world, that we forget the simple pleasures, we forget the joy, we forget what touch, how powerful one single touch is from people who are in a higher state of consciousness, in a love vibration, who put every foot forward with love and intention. And so I want to continue. Some people, whoever's bothered, whoever's watching this stuff, not everybody watches it, but sometimes I have to watch things back because I don't really know what I've said in some of the videos. And what I realise is I do correct myself when I talk, because I think I am, my higher self is retraining me, is trying to take me out of limiting words and limiting beliefs. Because it's important. And so, yeah, one thing I want to say is we rise in love. And I don't know if anybody else is finding anything with other particular words or anything that they say now that doesn't sit right. And other people, you know, might think we're wanky or whatever for using a spiritual terminology or whatever. And Rastafari did have influenced me with that. I do think there is a consciousness with language, and it's important. And although I don't always get it aligned, I am trying. And so I just want to give thanks, I guess, to Rastafari, or to people that I know and love who are also helping me retrain and learn words better. And more playful and conscious, because everything in the Babylonian sort of linguistic system is quite top down, is quite oppressive. Whereas when you start to uncut, like decode it, or we start to observe words differently, and the play around, like dedicated is livicated, you know. And we know the thing about mourning in the morning, the continual mourning is just like this, it's evoking of grief. So, and it's also, we're talking to spirits around us. So when we say things like mourning, we're actually we're speaking to energies that we don't really want around us. So that's what I tried to say. And people, as I said before, might think I'm a dickhead for writing peaceful rising. I'm just trying, and it is important to me. So other people might not find it important, but I've seen clear, a direct influence, positive impact on the developments of my manifestations according to the words I'm choosing and reprogramming myself. So yeah, 6 minutes on the dot. It's a nice number. Love a vibration. So yeah, if anybody else has any new words for me to learn, or any suggestions or any thoughts around this, always welcome to be contacted about that, because language is really, really, really powerful.